The COVID-19 pandemic is having a huge impact across the whole energy sector, both in terms of demand and supply. On the demand side, due to the sharp reduction in consumption, we noticed between 10 and 25% of reduction in the oil demand on a global scale. Then if we focus on individual countries such as Italy, mostly affected by the virus pandemic, then we noticed that the electricity demand dropped by 13% in the first week after the first lockdown, and gas demand likewise dropped by 10%. On the supply side, we notice a reduction in investments with regards to some specific sectors such as oil due to much lower prices, but also we notice there is a reduction in the production of clean technologies due to problems in the supply chain, namely in countries like China. If we look at the future, with regards to the fight to pollution and climate change, then there's a general concern that there might be negative implications both in the short term and in the long term. In the short term, because hydrocarbon prices are much lower, then consumers might actually be inclined to increase their consumption and delay the switching to cleaner technologies such as electric vehicles. Secondly, carbon emissions have come down and presumably will come down in the coming months due to the recession, with also consequently lower CO2 prices. These lower emission might actually be an incentive for some industry to lower the efforts with regards to decarbonization. It is the so-called rebound effect. Thirdly, as we said before, the production of some clean technology will further face some delays because of problems in the supply chain. And one example of this will still be solar panels and batteries in China. In the long run, the so-called bazooka, so the packages which with the intent to stimulate the recovery, then they could not maybe take into consideration, adequately take into consideration the climate objective, or delay the implementation of the announced plans such as the Green Deal, maybe shifting the financing towards more polluting sector with the excuse that because of the current tough economic situation. It must be emphasized that on world scale, investment in clean technologies have been stable in the last 2 years and in lower level with respect to 2017. But above all, we know that policy is fundamental in terms of supporting this technology, especially the least mature ones, such as batteries. Therefore, the situation is kind of a test for government and companies' commitment to clean energy transitions. We could argue that governments could take this opportunity to step up their climate ambitions and launch sustainable stimulus packages, focusing mostly on clean energy technologies.